So we can start with the poster presentations. Anna, you will be doing the first one.
I would like to start by thanking the organizers to give us the opportunity to present our work here. The aim of this study was to evaluate the FAMACHA method for target selective anti-helminthic treatment in black and white merino sheep in the Alentejo region in the south of Portugal. To do such paired fecal and blood samples were collected in 26 merino black and merino white farms for fecal egg count, coproculture, and PEG cell volume determination. FAMACHA scores were assessed using thresholds 3 and 4, and clinical anemia was determined as PEG cell volume less than 27%. As preliminary results, we observed a significant correlation between FAMACHA scores and PEG cell volume for both breeds. PEG cell volume significantly correlated with fecal egg count, but not with FAMACHA scores. Overall, sensitivity and specificity in detecting animal needing anti-helminthic treatment was approximately 57% and 41% for white and black merino sheep, respectively. Our coproculture results show that Haemonchus contortus was the less prevalent and representative species. As a take-home message, we'd like to finish by saying that the FAMACHA method may not be suitable for target selective treatment in the Alentejo region due to an apparently low prevalence of Haemonchus contortus. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, hello, Charlotte from University of Copenhagen here. I'll be telling you about the effects of seaweed inclusion in the feed of nematode burdens in pigs. So building on our previous in vitro work, we tested our most promising seaweed in vivo using pigs. So first we set up a small study where we tested fermented and non-fermented seaweed in 5%. On co-infected pigs, and if you press next, yeah, we also did a larger 2x2 study with 8% seaweed inclusion, also on co-infected pigs of 28 days plus 8 days inclusions with a parasite. Yes, next. So the results from the first study showed that they had the seaweed inclusions had no effect on parasite burdens, but we did see about a 40 to 50% reduction in egg excretion in both seaweed-fed groups. If you press next, unfortunately, when we did the larger study, we couldn't replicate this decrease in egg excretion, and also we saw the same pattern with the worm burdens, but we did see a decrease in the hatching of the Oesophagus dentatum, as well as a decrease in milk spots in the liver. And next. And lastly, we also did flow cytometry to see how this affected the white blood cells, and we did both on blood and lymph nodes. And here we didn't see much effect of the seaweed inclusion, only on uninfected pigs, where we saw a slight increase in T cells and a slight decrease in monocytes in the blood. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. And let's move to the next one.
Okay, I'm Filip from University of Novi Sad, Serbia, and I will talk about essential oils and their possible role in controlling gastrointestinal nematodes of sheep. In this study, we used one sample of Juniperus communis and 2 samples of Achillea mellifolium essential oils. We evaluate their anti-helminthic potential against sheep gastrointestinal nematodes by using in vitro egg hatch test. And also we did GCMS, gas chromatography mass spectrometry analysis to determine their chemical composition. And in the table 1, you can see the main represented compounds in each tested EO, which are responsible for their ovicidal activity. Next slide. And here in this table, you can see the results of the egg hatch test. You may notice that the inhibitory activity of the tested EO samples on egg hatching was very high and dose dependent, whereby the Juniperus communis EO showed the best performances. Also, you may notice that the efficacy of essential oils depends on the plant species from which it is extracted, and also from the chemotype of the same plant species, which is related to the different plant grown conditions and also environmental factors, source of the essential oils, etc., which can lead to the differences in their chemical composition and efficacy. So we can conclude that the essential oils of Juniperus communis and Achillea millefolium have a potential to be used in the control of the sheep gastrointestinal nematodes. And also this study highlights the possible importance of herbal plant products in combating anthelmintic resistance. Thank you.
Thank you also. And we go to the final one for the poster session by Alexandra.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. A special hello to Modern of team. Thank you for the opportunity to present our work. My name is Alexandra Vergles-Rataj, coming from Slovenia, from veterinary faculty at University of Ljubljana. And last year I spent, thank you. Last year I spent a few months at Mordon Institute and was working with Fiona and her team. The first experiment we did was adding L1 larvae, Haemonchus contortus, and bacteria, Chrysobacterium nematophagum, in 2 concentrations onto the grass grown in pots, incubated for different hours. And we also created a condition score for determining the damage of larvae. The second experiment was to determine the effect of Chrysobacterium nematophagum on free-living nematodes in fresh pasture samples. In the first experiment, L1 larvae damaged, of course, and the number of nematodes in the second experiment were reduced. We have also here pictures. One is a normal Haemonchus contortus L1 larvae, and another picture is a larvae which is damaged. Thank you.
We also thank you very much. And since we have a minute left, there is one question for Charlotte. If there was only one Esophagostomum species in your pigs, Charlotte?
Yes, it was only Esophagostomum dentatum.